you who enjoys watching your broadcast and YouTube channel. Your way of life is beautiful and noble, no doubt. In my personal life, some Muslims unfortunately cause conflict with me for no reason and say Muslims and Jews cannot get along. This seems to go against your rhetoric and leaves me confused. In Islam, are Muslims allowed to have non-Muslim friends? And is it true that most Muslims hate Jews? I do apologize for taking up your time.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to you. Welcome to anyone. Okay. For around 7 years, we were invited to attend a gathering of believers to pray for this world. For over 7 years, they had it on the Washington Monument, right in front of the White House. People from different traditions, different faiths, different religions, they're coming, understanding that everyone is human and everyone is praising their Creator in their own way, asking to bring peace into this world. That is a prayer vigil for this world. Sit down. Using without intelligence. I'll let go a little bit. Good. And I remember there was one morning they had a ceremony and they say we have to pray for peace in Palestine. And they invited people who are from the Jewish faith, people who are Christians and Muslims to come up and to say a couple of words to say. So the rabbi came up. No, it's not a joke. And the Christian priest came up. Then they asked me to speak. And I said, people have to remember that this period of conflict in the Middle East, especially they are saying between the Jews and the Muslims, this is only a short period in the long history of the Middle East between Muslims and Jews in particular. And in this long history, the Muslims and the Jews, they were not at war, they were not in conflict, they were living together. Living together as people of the book. But they want us to forget that. They want us to think that we've always been fighting, that we've always been hating. The first calls was to the Bani Israel when the Holy Prophet ﷺ received the revelation. And there were many who received him, who responded, and who accepted. Especially in Medina. Then later on, in the time of Hazrat Abu Bakr, Hazrat Umar, especially in the time of Hazrat Umar, when he took Qudus, Jerusalem, and he freed it from the hands of the Christians. And the Christians, to insult the Jews, they made that area the Wailing Wall, they call it. They made that to become a public toilet. They put all their toilets in there for over 100 years. And when Hazrat Umar, he freed this holy city, which in the ruling of the Christians, the Jews were not allowed to come to pray, to worship there. Hazrat Umar then went to that area saying, where is the area of these holy places? And he went and by himself, he cleaned it. The Khalifa went on his hands and his knees and he cleaned it. He invited the Jews to come back, say, this is your place to come and worship. Started building the Watu Sakhra, started building the Masjid al-Aqsa. That the Masjid al-Aqsa, they were mostly built by the people. There was from that area who accepted Islam. There was from the Bani Israel. And when they accepted And when they built the Masjid al-Aqsa, they believe that this is the fulfillment of the third temple. So from that time, we're talking about 1400 years ago, until 1923, there was no conflict now between the majority of the Jews and the Muslims, especially in that area. What happened? I never heard of any, suicide bombers. 1400 years of Islam, I never hear of any suicide bombers until yesterday. They were living together. And the Prophet ﷺ made special provisions to the Ahlul Kitab, to the people of the book, to the Jews and the Christians. So, what has happened in the last 100 years when the ruling of Islam was removed and when fitna and confusion was planted into these different areas? Because of this dunya and because of politics. And when people from the West now start dividing this whole area, and the people now started to take sides and not understanding who they're fighting against, why they're fighting. So you get a lot of confusion. And you get a lot of amnesia. And people are trying to say to other people, no, we've always been enemies. Enemies for 1,000 years. Show me the proof. What is that? What is the enemies of over 1,000 years? When Islam was ruling all of the Middle East, when Islam was ruling all of the Middle East, it could have destroyed every church and every synagogue, every shul that is there. It could have. What stopped it? Because the Prophet is saying, live with them. Don't force your religion on them. If they are agreeing to live under your ruling, then let them to be. Let them to have their own culture, their own religion. They must have their own ruling system under you too. And especially with the ruling of the Ottoman Turks, now we see that they are able to now judge people according to their humanity, not according to their religion. So everyone now is going to live according to how much they are going to contribute to their civilization, not the color of their skin or their religion. And there are still people like that today. But we get a lot of confusion, and they want to push us not to find peace. Or everyone who says they want to have peace in the Middle East, they're just full of garbage. They don't want peace. The whole aim is not to stabilize the region, it's just to make this region to be unstable. Because with war, they say we can rule. With war, we can make money. With war, we can control. Once there is peace, we cannot penetrate them. And so, now those ones that they are saying we have no problems with you, the Jews or the Christians saying we have no problems with you, we don't have to agree. If we can say lakum dinukum waliyadin, to you your religion and to me mine, and we behave like decent human beings, this is what the ruling of Islam has always been. This is the tradition from the time of the establishment of the first Islamic ruling system in Medina right up to the Ottomans. This is how it is. The Jews and the Christians, even in India now you have unbelievers, they are also there and they are living together, because Islam's aim is not to reach utopia. This is not to make this world into perfection. This world is not perfect. It can never be perfect. We have solved that question 1400 years ago. This is asfal as-safilin. This is the lowest of the low. But Allah has created mankind, not Jews, not Christians, not Muslims, mankind. And this is another problem. If the Jews are going to say we are the only people who are blessed to be mankind and the rest is half animal, that's a problem. If the Jews, they are saying we're the only ones with the spirit from God, everyone else is half animal, that's a problem. Then with that kind of arrogance and superiority, you will justify doing every cruelty to mankind, saying that, well, they are not mankind. The 7 laws of Nuh alayhi salam only applies to them. We have more laws, but we have more right because we are the chosen ones. Then there is a problem. But if you say, everyone is chosen, like the Prophet says, there is no superiority between the Arab and the non-Arab, except in the nearness to Allah. He said it 1400 years ago now. We're not trying to make perfection. We're trying to come near to Allah. And this world is the lowest of the low. If you find like-minded people who are looking and searching for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, very good. Leave them alone. Let them. You are following your religion. And you're following and you're saying, this is the end. This is the limit of my understanding. I cannot get more. If you like, come to Islam. We have more to teach you. And those ones who accepted Islam were from the Bani Israel. They rose to even higher stations. There was one of the wives of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. She was from the Bani Israel. And one time she went to the Prophet and says that the other ones, they are just insulting me. They're saying, oh, you Jew. Like that. He says, and I feel very sad. And the Prophet says, don't worry, don't be sad. Next time they say, oh, you Jew or you Jewish woman, say to them, my grandfather is Musa alayhi salam. My grand-uncle is Harun alayhi salam. And I am the wife of Rasulullah alayhi salam. There is a place for every nation in this table of Islam. There is a place for everyone who wants peace and who are looking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're not running after this world. Anyone who wants that, they are welcome. And the majority of Islamic history is showing that that was not only possible, it was the way to go. This was the MO. This was the system. Which is why, especially in the time of the Ottomans, you see people from different religions and races, they're also contributing to the society. And you are treated according to your merit. To your merit. And they talk about meritocracy. They had it already in Islam, according to your merit. So, the world must remember our history. Those ones also fooling us, fake news, CNN, fake news, saying you have always been fighting. No, tell them that is untrue. The recent conflict has happened because, yes, it is recent. Maybe in the past 100 years, it's because of the interferences of those ones who are not even considered Jews by the people who practice real Judaism, the Zionists, they say. And in the beginning, when the state of Israel was formed, majority of the religious Jews, they rejected. They say no. Only what they call the Mashiach has the power to bring everyone together. You cannot do it. You cannot force it. They were against it. Later they changed their mind, but that was how it was. So, the Jew has no superiority over the non-Jew. The Arab has no superiority over the non-Arab. And the non-Arab does not have superiority over the Arab or the Jew, except taqwa. Except if you're running to know Allah and to please Him. And which is why in the history of Islam too, you see the closeness of the religious Jews and the people who are running for tasawwuf and tariqat. You see their relationship, it is respectful. And you see them in the golden age of Judaism, which happened in Islamic Spain. It didn't happen in Europe. Eastern Europe, if we can compare that to what had happened with Maimonides and his son, and how much they learned from Islam and from Tariqat. So those days will come back, inshallah, because when Mahdi alayhi salam comes, the fight is not going to be between Jews and Christians and Muslims, or it is between believers and unbelievers. Those who believe in Allah, however that they believe, and believe in goodness and haqq, and those who don't believe, they only believe in this dunya. We should, inshallah rahman, understand this, and the sincere people should come together. May Allah give us that power, inshallah. May Allah forgive us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Al-Fatiha. This much is enough. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Now give.